John, before we talk about the game itself, can we just ask you about what a frustrating injury list it's been at the start of the season for you? Is it showing signs of easing?
Yeah, it is, to be honest. It's got one or two back on the grass. Josh Smith, Dan Martin, Tyler Walton as well. So we'll see now, because we're just about to have a medical meeting in the next 10 minutes.
That must be a relief for you, because you want to start the season with as many, obviously, fit players as possible, don't you?
You do, but it's one of them, as I said before, you've got to be careful with them. So you want them to play, you want to try and push them a bit and say, come on, it's only this or it's only that. But these lads know their own bodies, if you like, and you've got to go off the medical advice. But sometimes you have to take it out their own hands, because you don't want to turn it into months, and we can't afford to have anyone out.
We do. The last time I saw you was before the opening game of the season, and we talked about Sean not being available. How's he doing? Have we got a time scale at all, John?
No, really, not on Sean. It's just week to week, really, day to day, week to week. So, and as I said, you have to be careful with Sean, because, of his age now and stuff like that. I mean, he's had an unbelievable career, and he's still continuing to defy the odds, if you like. So he's got this little strain on the top of his quad. So, we'll just play, as I said, day to day, week to week.
Is there any training he's able to do right now?
Well, only gym work, really, and bike, nothing else. And as I said, I think he's had it before. I think the last time he had it was at, funny enough, Shrewsbury, one of his old clubs. So, as I said, we'll just have to keep monitoring that one.
Next few days, window closes, of course, after the game at the weekend. In terms of what you've got and what you'd like and the numbers you've got, how are you looking, John? Do you think you'll be busy?
We'd like possibly another one, maybe two in, and we are talking to people, as I said, so that's sort of ongoing, and I know it's coming pretty close to closing. So it's one of them, watch this space. I mean, as I said, we're getting people back fit now as well, so the squad's growing again, isn't it?
And in terms of the loan side of things, you have got space there, haven't you?
We have, yeah. You can only put 5 on your team sheet, if you like, or name 5 of them. So we have to be careful with that, because we had that the season before, where someone always had to miss out because we had 6. I don't really want that. So ideally we've got a space for another one.
Yeah, that can't have been ideal for you, having to deal with that every week last season.
No, it wasn't, and the lads that we had at the time are very understanding with that, you see. Sonny Al-Joffrey and Nelson Kambeni, so, they sort of shared it, if you like, and the situations the way it was at times. It was, both of them could play and someone else had to miss out, but it was mainly them two, really.
It's that time of year, John, that the players are linked with moves, whether there's any truth or fact or fiction to them. We don't know until we ask people like you. Tyler Walton, what can you tell us?
Well, Tyler's been doing his job and done it really well since he come through the door, and there has been a bit of interest. But for Tyler, he's staying here. He's got his head down. He's going to carry on doing what he's been doing and performing really well for the team, giving it 100% and scoring goals. And that does attract interest. He's had that. It hasn't been right. So at the same time, he knows that, and he knows that he's got a job to do here, and he'll do it 100%. It
always happens in football. If a good offer comes, the likelihood is the club will deem it acceptable, and the money will go back in.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's how the club have done things, but it has to be right for the club, whatever that is, and that has in the past. So, as I said, for the players themselves, they have all got a price, even though they're all under contract, they're all our players. So they carry on performing and doing the job and doing it really well. They will get rewarded.
Is there a sense that between now and Monday, is Tyler one of the players that you're not anxious, but you desperately want to stay and you don't want the phone ringing for?
Well, that's it. Not just him. Hopefully a few others. It doesn't happen as well, because there's other been, clubs and names with our players type of thing. Whether it's all like whispers, that remains to be seen. But at the minute, we can't come quick enough for me.
Just give us an idea of the start. What have you made of? We're reaching the end of August. What have you made of the first sort of month of it? And bearing in mind you've played a game less.
Yeah. Well, a game less. I think we've done really well and better than last season in the League Cup, that is. In terms of the league, we've drew 2 and lost 2. So I think the performances by the Crew in the first half, I think, hasn't been, especially the Crew first half, that wasn't very good in terms of as a team and certain individuals. Lads knew that, let themselves down, but in terms of the rest of the performances, I think the lads have performed well. I just think we needed to reward ourselves with taking the points, in which we haven't. So we have to, it's ongoing. You basically just got to learn from it, dust yourself down, just go again. Because as football is, it just gives you another opportunity, like it does Saturday, tomorrow that is, and then gives it another opportunity Tuesday.
What are the bits that you've been happy with, and what are the bits that you're looking at that you think we definitely need to be better at?
Well, we need to take our chances, and we also need to keep the ball out the back of the net. And they've all been close games, you know. I think we're a different team from last year, that's for sure. You know, everyone can see that. I think we've got an identity, the way we play and way we go about it, you know, with and without the ball. And as I said, I think it's one of them, you know, you've just got to work hard, you've got to keep doing stuff on the training grounds, and then hopefully it comes off, you know, when it goes live, when you're playing Saturday and Tuesday. Do
you feel a much better team this time, a year on?
Yeah, 100%. We're in a miles better place than we were last year, and that's off the pitch as well. So the dressing room's miles better. You know, there's more of an understanding. All the lads have got to know each other a lot better as well. So, you know, I touch on, which it won't be soon, is that we've had a really good pre-season, tough pre-season, but what we wanted to do and what we wanted to get out of it, it served us really well. So going forward into the league, I think we were unlucky, if you like, against Gillingham, the first game of the season. You could see that really good side, if you like, expected to do well, and they're up there. Then you know, you move on and you're playing the likes of Salford again, another good side, expected to probably go and do a little bit this season with the investment that they're going to get as well. So, you know, and then you move on to Grimsby. You know, Grimsby, if you like, really, really good side. Everyone could see that, what the result that they got against Manchester United through the week in the Cup. So we've held our own against you know, the top end teams with Crewe thrown in the mix there, which I said I wasn't sort of happy with the first half, but the way we went about it in the second half, we done really well, but we just didn't take chances when they came. So you've got to take your chances, and you've got to keep the ball out the back of the net. But we've played most of the top end now, if you like, over the first 4 games. I know we've missed out because the Tranmere game got called off, but sort of pleased. But in terms of return with points, we need to do better. We need to get more.
You've got a game this weekend, John, against a team who were in the division above last season and had a really disappointing season for them last year. They've not got off to the start that they would have wanted to in the league. They got a result in midweek, which I'm sure was a relief to them. But in terms of going there in the league, do you think that potentially, if you can get the first goal, that the crowd could turn at Shrewsbury at the weekend?
Well, hopefully. I mean, that's your aim. I mean, the first goal always has a massive influence in the game, doesn't it? You know, so we had a good away form towards the end of the season last year. So, you know, we're going there. We'll have a game plan. We're going to work on that this morning. We've obviously touched on it yesterday, but you know, you go into more detail, especially today on a Friday, the day before the game. So we're looking forward to it. We know the challenges. You know, they've come down, so they've got a point to prove themselves. They want to get points on the boards. You know, they want to get the first home win of the season themselves. So we'll go there, and you know, we'll just give it everything.
Are they a dangerous animal in that regard? That they are on such a long run of, I think they've won 1 in 20 odd league games, John. Does that make them dangerous?
It does, but it's got to turn at some point, hasn't it? You know, you'd like to think so for them, but my focus is just what we do. So, you know, at the end of the day is we've got to do what we do, go about it in the right way. First and foremost, as soon as you put the shirt on, you know, it's all the hard work that goes with that, just putting the shirt on, and then obviously all the tactical elements that come into it, and, you know, can you execute it in terms of your technical stuff that you do, and then it's the big thing about the 2 boxes, you know, putting it in one and keeping it out in the other.
With all respect, John, it's the end of August. It's very, very early days. It's the way football is these days, that people are talking about, can you get that first win? What will it mean to you? Would there be a sense of relief if you got the first 3 on the board? I
think it is, because it's a sense of relief for anyone. You know, if you get it in your first game, great. But, you know, that's why it's 46 games, isn't it? You know, you've got to make sure you get as many points on the board as possible, as quickly as possible. And that's what the aim is every single game that we play, whether, you know, that is in the league and the way we went about it in the Cup, and we've had the joy in the Cup. So we've got to transfer, you know, take that now into your league games, and you've just got to get them points on the board. And as I said, it gives us another opportunity to go and do that. It's
the last thing you want is playing catch up like last season, isn't it? You were so happy with your form at times last season, but because of the slow start, you couldn't really impact the league table. You don't want that happening again, do you?
1,000,000% I want that happening again. So the lads know that. We spoke about that. Spoke about it, you know, the games that it took for us to get our first win, what it meant to everyone. So they all know the feeling. They all know how we all feel about it. We're all in this together in terms of as the squad, and everyone else is on the same page, you know. So we've just got to make sure that, you know, we get that win as quickly as possible.
You've got a suspension to deal with as well. What did you make of Josh's red card?
Yeah, well, we've gone through that as well. It was an opportunity that we had in the box, and it was just a clearance. They got just kicked up the field, if you like. They've cleared the box. Our two lads have got in each other's way. When we had an opportunity, maybe just for one of them to leave it and have a shot on goal, they got in each other's way. They've cleared it, and then Josh, Molyneux's a very, very good player. He's sort of gone through down the sides, and Josh is scared. He was probably unaware of that. Logan Pye was behind him, and whether there was lack of communication. Logan said he'd mentioned something, but Josh was just in a moment. He wanted to try and stop Molyneux from getting through and getting into the box. So he's made the decision, and which has cost him.
Is it something that he'll learn from that? I think they were quite closely together, weren't they, the bookings?
Yeah, we asked to. Well, the first booking, as I said, we've gone through that. I mean, I said on it after the game, is that, I think it was for dissent. I mean, I'd have to ring Mike Jones and speak to Mike about it, but he got actually done for saying, that it was a corner for us and not a goal kick in the last moment. So I think it was actually Devon who brought the lad down. Josh was there as well, but Josh is on that, and that's come from because that was our corner. And he's just, he's, the referee can answer that question, or Mike Jones can answer the question if he asked it, but it's not going to change anything, is it? So, as I said, it was a bit harsh, that one, but then obviously the second one is a yellow card.
Just finally, expecting this to be a bit of a scrap at the weekend?
I've looked at some of the games, especially the Tuesday game, in the EFL Trophy against Chelsea under-21s. Chelsea under-21s had a lot of the ball, and I think they try and play a little bit Shrewsbury. They'll go long. They've got some big units. They've got some big lads in defence. So, as I said, we've just got to take care of ourselves. Whether it's a scrap, we're up for it. Whether it's a football match, we'll do the both. So, we'll definitely go there with a game plan.